Decoding the silent language of love. How men reveal their deepest feelings. Without words, in a world obsessed with grand romantic gestures and poetic declarations of love, we often overlook the subtle, unspoken signs that reveal a man's true emotions. Society has long conditioned men to suppress their feelings, to wear a mask of stoicism from a young age. Don't cry, they're told. Be strong. Hide your weaknesses. These messages, ingrained in childhood, create a disconnect between what men feel and what they express. But what if the key to understanding a man's heart lies not in his words, but in his actions, his glances, his unconscious choices? Drawing on the profound insights of Carl Jung, modern neuroscience, and the timeless language of human behavior, this script unveils the hidden signals of deep emotional attachment, signals that are nearly impossible to fake. These are the signs that a man is not just attracted but truly, deeply in love. The unconscious mind, where true love speaks. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychologist who revolutionized our understanding of the human psyche, believed that the unconscious mind holds the key to our deepest truths. While the conscious mind can craft words to please or deceive, the unconscious reveals itself through behaviors we can't fully control. When a man falls in love, his brain becomes a symphony of neurochemicals, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, that shape his actions in ways he might not even realize. These chemicals don't just create feelings, they drive instincts, habits, and patterns that speak louder than any spoken confession. This silent language of love is universal, rooted in what Jung called the collective unconscious, a shared reservoir of human instincts and archetypes. When a man is emotionally invested, his unconscious mind takes over, expressing his feelings through actions, gestures, and subtle cues that are far more reliable than words. But these signals are often missed because we're taught to wait for explicit declarations or dramatic displays. The truth is, love doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers in the details. So how do you know if a man is truly in love? How do you distinguish fleeting attraction from a profound emotional bond? Below, we explore 9 unmistakable signs, grounded in Jung's psychology and validated by modern science, that reveal a man's heart when words fail. Sign 1. The eyes. That seer Carl Jung famously said, "The eyes are the windows to the soul," and science backs this up. When a man is deeply in love, his gaze becomes a mirror of his emotions. It's not just about looking at you, it's about seeing you, your essence, your quirks, your spirit. His pupils may dilate involuntarily, a physiological response triggered by the autonomic nervous system when we're in the presence of someone we cherish. Studies in neuroscience show that pupil dilation is a reliable indicator of emotional arousal, impossible to fake. You'll notice his eyes linger on you, even in a crowded room. He might catch your gaze and hold it a fraction longer than necessary, as if memorizing every detail of your face. Even when he thinks you're not looking, his eyes will seek you out, drawn to you like a compass to true north. This isn't a predatory stare or a fleeting glance of desire. It's a look of quiet awe, as if your presence is a work of art he can't stop admiring. Watch for those stolen glances when he believes you're distracted. They're a window into his heart. Sign 2. He carves out space for you. When a man is emotionally invested, he doesn't just make time for you, he restructures his life around you. Jung's concept of synchronicity suggests that meaningful coincidences align when two people are deeply connected. A man in love will unconsciously rearrange his priorities to ensure you're a part of his world. He adjusts his schedule, shifts his plans, and makes himself available. Not out of obligation, but because being near you feels like a necessity. This goes beyond time. He'll also close the physical distance between you. In a group setting, his body language will subtly orient toward you. His feet pointing in your direction, his shoulders angled to face you, even when he's speaking to someone else. Neuroscience explains this as an unconscious response driven by dopamine, the reward chemical that makes your presence addictive to him. He's not choosing to lean closer. His brain is pulling him toward you, like gravity. Sign 3. A memory that holds you close. The unconscious mind is a selective curator, storing only what matters most. When a man is in love, his brain prioritizes you, cataloging details others might overlook. He remembers the story you told about your childhood pet, the way you take your coffee, or the book you mentioned in passing months ago. This isn't just attentiveness. It's a sign that you occupy a privileged space in his cognitive landscape. Jung called this psychic presence, where someone becomes a fixture in our thoughts even when they're not physically there. You might mention a random detail, like a favorite song, and weeks later he brings it up in conversation, surprising you with his recall. This selective memory isn't something he consciously curates. It's his unconscious mind signaling that you're a priority, etched into his mental framework. Sign 4. Vulnerability in a world of armor society often demands that men project strength and invulnerability, but true love dismantles these defenses. Jung believed that authentic connection happens when we lower our shields and reveal our true selves. A man who's emotionally invested will share parts of himself he hides from the world, his fears, his dreams, his insecurities. These moments might be subtle, a quiet confession about a work stress, a childhood memory he's never shared, or a hope he's kept private. This vulnerability is a rare gift. When a man opens up, he's not just sharing information. He's saying, "I trust you with the parts of me I don't show others." It's a sign of deep emotional safety, a willingness to be seen without pretense. Watch for these moments. They're a powerful indicator of his investment in you. Sign 5. Integrating you into his world. When a man is truly in love, he doesn't compartmentalize you. He weaves you into the fabric of his life. He introduces you to his closest friends, talks about you to his family, and invites you to share in his traditions and milestones. This isn't about showing you off. It's about making you a natural part of his existence. Jung noted that when we feel a deep connection, we instinctively include that person in our identity, as if their presence completes us. You'll notice he speaks of you with pride, not hesitation. He wants the people who matter to him to know you, to see the role you play in his life. Whether it's inviting you to a family gathering or sharing a quiet ritual like his Sunday morning coffee routine, he's signaling that you're not just a guest in his world, you're a resident. Sign 6. A future with you in it, love, reshapes how we envision the future. A man who's emotionally invested will naturally include you in his long-term plans, not as a deliberate commitment, but as an instinctive assumption. He might talk about a trip you'll take together next summer or mention a dream home that feels designed for both of you. These aren't empty promises. They're glimpses into a mind that can't imagine a future without you. Jung's concept of the anima, the unconscious feminine archetype in a man's psyche, suggests that when a man finds a woman who aligns with this inner image, he feels a sense of wholeness. His plans, dreams, and aspirations begin to include you because you've become part of his psychological foundation. Listen for the casual ways he weaves you into his vision of tomorrow. It's a sign his heart is fully engaged. Sign 7. A protective instinct, not possession. Jung identified a deep-seated archetype in the male psyche, the protector. When a man is in love, This instinct manifests as a genuine concern for your well-being, not as control or dominance. He notices when you're stressed before you say a word. He offers help without being asked, not to impress you, but because your happiness matters to him on a primal level. Neuroscience supports this, showing that oxytocin, the bonding hormone, surges during moments of emotional or physical closeness, driving protective behaviors. This might look like him checking if you got home safely, offering support during a tough day, or quietly anticipating your needs. It's not about grand heroics, but about consistent, quiet care. He's driven by an unconscious need to ensure your safety and comfort, a sign that you're irreplaceable to him. Sign 8. Consistency. Over time, Jung believed that the unconscious mind reveals its truth through patterns, not fleeting moments. A man who's truly in love doesn't just show up when it's convenient. He's a steady presence. His attention doesn't wax and wane. His care doesn't vanish after the honeymoon phase. While anyone can fake interest for a short time, only genuine emotion sustains itself over months and years. Look for reliability in his actions. Does he follow through on promises? Is he there when you need him, even when it's inconvenient? Consistency isn't boring. It's the bedrock of trust. A man who's emotionally invested will show up again and again because his feelings are rooted in something deeper than momentary attraction. Sign 9. Synchronicity in shared moments. Jung's concept of synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that seem to defy logic, comes alive in true love. When a man is deeply connected to you, you'll notice uncanny alignments. He texts you just as you're thinking of him. You discover shared passions or experiences you never expected. There's a sense of being in tune, as if an invisible thread binds you together. These moments aren't random. They're the unconscious mind aligning two people on a profound level. You might find yourselves finishing each other's sentences or sharing a laugh over something only you two understand. This natural harmony is a sign that your connection transcends the surface, touching something deeper and almost mystical. Why these signs matter. Understanding these signs isn't just about decoding a man's feelings. It's about empowering yourself to recognize authentic love. Too often, women are swayed by charming words or fleeting gestures, only to find themselves in relationships that lack depth. Jung's insights combined with modern science give us a roadmap to distinguish between surface attraction and a bond that can transform lives. If you see these signs in a man, you're witnessing something rare, a connection that goes beyond physical chemistry or social compatibility. It's what Jung called a meeting of souls, where two people awaken each other's deepest potential. But this knowledge comes with responsibility. If a man is showing you his heart through these actions, meet him with the same openness and authenticity. Love thrives when both people lower their defenses and embrace vulnerability. What if the signs are missing? If you're with someone who doesn't show these signs, or shows them inconsistently, it's time for honest reflection. Attraction can be intense but fleeting. True love builds slowly, layer by layer, through consistent actions. Don't settle for someone who offers words without substance or attention that fades when the novelty wears off. Jung taught us that real love flows naturally, without coercion or manipulation. If you're begging for attention or doubting his feelings, it's a sign the connection may not be as deep as you deserve. That said, no one is perfect. A man might show some signs but struggle with others, especially if he's navigating his own emotional barriers. The key is to look for patterns over time. A single heartfelt gesture is beautiful, but it's the steady rhythm of care, presence, and vulnerability that reveals true love. How this changes you. This knowledge is a game changer. It frees you from the uncertainty of guessing a man's feelings or clinging to empty promises. You'll start to trust your instincts, noticing the subtle cues that reveal his heart. You'll stop chasing grand declarations and start valuing the quiet, consistent actions that matter most. This shift gives you clarity and confidence, allowing you to invest in relationships that are mutual, meaningful, and transformative. Imagine the freedom of never second-guessing a man's intentions again. By focusing on these unconscious signals, you can discern genuine love from passing interest, saving yourself from heartbreak and wasted time. You'll approach relationships with a new sense of power, rooted in the understanding that true love doesn't need to be forced. It simply is.